2018 IWF World Championships, where we are about to see the start of the men's plus 109 kilogram A session, which is also the end of these 2018 IWF World Championships. We have been out here in lovely Ashgabat, Turkmenistan for the past 10 days, and we have been treated not only to a spectacle for the eyes in this city of marble and neon, but to a spectacle in sporting event as well. There have been Olympic champions going up against world champions, going up against record holders, and it has been non-stop excitement in this city the entire competition. Tonight's competition, the super heavyweight men, the strongest men in this competition, will be battling out for the title. Let's meet our 11 competitors now.
Bulgaria. Representing Georgia, Lasha Talakadze. Lasha Talakadze, Georgia. Representing the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ali Dawoodi. Ali Dawoodi, Iran Islam Respublikası. Representing Brazil, Fernando Reis. Fernando Reis, Brasilia. Representing Estonia, Mark Sem, Estonia. Representing Uzbekistan, Rustam Jangabay. Uzbekistan. Representing Armenia, Gor Minasyan, Ermenistan. Representing the Russian Federation, Ruslan Albegov, Russian Federation. Representing Georgia, Irakli Turmanidze, Georgia. Representing Turkmenistan, Mohamed Toychiev, Turkmenistan. Representing Belarus, Edward Zizulin, Belarusia. Thank you.
And for the final time, we have introduced you to our competitors at the 2018 IWF World Championships. Here is our start list for the men's 109 kilo Group A. There were originally 36 competitors in this group. By the end of the VFE, final verification of entries, we were down to 30. But as you can see, there was almost no room on that stage for the 11 who are here in this A group. JP Nicoletta with Sean Waxman and Dr. David Boffa for the last time. And guys, we have waited all week for this. We don't want it to end, but this will be a spectacle. Of this group of 11, we have it all. And we're taking a look here at our group in the back as they get ready. Walid Bidani of Algeria.
One of several Olympians in this category. He is a two-time Olympian.
He was 8th last year at the World Championships in Anaheim. And there he is, Lasha Talakadze. And there are a few lifters in the world that when you notice them, you can identify them by one name and it means everything. All you need to say is Lasha, and right now he is it. This is a competitor who's not just competing against this field, but really at this point against his own legend. Can he be the greatest lifter of all time? We will find out along the way. And here is his teammate.
Irakli Turmanidze, bronze in 2016 in the super heavies, opening pretty aggressively. I think he will be someone in the hunt for that bronze or silver position here.
No slouch himself. And there we have from Brazil, Fernando Reis, two-time Olympian, Pan Am record holder, 7th appearance at a World Championships. He is a guy who everybody loves to watch lift. as is this one, particularly in the clean and jerk.
Estonia's Mart Saim, incredibly strong. We've seen him squat well north of 300 kilograms for reps. In the clean and jerk, he's very strong. He'll have to make some damage there. There is Uzbekistan's Jangabayev, 2016 Olympian, and another possible medal contender.
Last year, 4th place across the board, snatch, clean and jerk, and total. Can he break through to the medal stand here? Somebody who will absolutely be in play, Gor Minasyan from Armenia, silver medalist in Rio. This is his 2nd senior worlds.
Minasyan, one of few athletes, if I'm not mistaken, who has snatched around or above 210 kilos.
You are correct.
Another individual in that range, Ruslan Albegov of Russia, 2-time world champion, 2013 and 2014. And he will be somebody for Lasha to keep an eye on.
From the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ali Dawoodi, maybe not the face that you expected to see in the plus 109s from Iran, but they are as deep as it gets in this field.
And he's a junior.
And he is a junior.
He is the next one for Iran.
And here from the hometown kid from Turkmenistan, Hoja Tochev, and he is no kid. He is a big guy, but can he break through to the medal stand in front of his home crowd? This place is packed to the gills, and they are mostly here to see him. And finally,
Zhuzhulin. First time seeing him at the World Championships, Belarus. Historically pretty strong in weightlifting. We'll see if he can do some damage as well. This is his last year as a junior. He is one of 2 junior competitors.
So that rounds out our field, and as you know, there are 10 new bodyweight categories in weightlifting competition. Therefore, there are all new world record standards that have been set in advance of this meet.
Those records are going down.
We shall see, and we expect that to be the case.
Here are your referees for this men's plus 109 session. There are 3 referees that judge each lift in weightlifting, each snatch, each clean and jerk in the second phase of the competition. 2 of 3 referees must give you a white light indicating a good lift. 2 to 3, 2 to 1 is the minimum call for a good lift.
If you are new to weightlifting, each competitor is given 3 attempts in the snatch, 3 attempts in the clean and jerk. The best effort from each is added together for a total. The progress or the flow of a weightlifting competition is progressive. So once weight goes on the bar, it does not come off. Athletes are called to the platform based on the weights that they select. And as you see here, we're about to get started with 185 kilos for Ali Dawoodi of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Sounds like he just took 180 kilos in the back room as a warm-up, one of several warm-ups, no doubt.
He is a 2018 Junior World Champion at plus 105. He snatched 192 kilos in July at the Junior Worlds. Here he is opening with 185.
I can't believe he's 19 years old.
Gets on the board with ease, and give you a sense of the competition. You can see our tower on the left-hand side showing the lifter. Lifter highlighted in green is the active athlete. There's that opening attempt. You can see how enormous these athletes are. He is collar to collar on that bar.
There's almost not enough room for him
to go wider. Yeah. Speaking of enormous, the small mountain you see migrating on stage right now is none other than Estonia's Mart Saim.
And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And one of the strongest. Here he is opening with 185 kilos.
Still kind of figuring the snatch out with 185, but as Bafa said, the clean and jerk is something to see from him.
Yeah.
Much better than we've seen him lift.
Yeah, he's moving pretty well. You know, I know he's been struggling a little bit with
a back injury.
Issues.
Yeah. So he's a little ginger walking off that stage.
Well, you would be too if you just had 185 kilos overhead, Sean.
Yes, well, I agree.
Well, the thing with Sam is that if he can get into the 190 plus range, he's dangerous as far as the clean and jerk competition goes.
Yeah.
He can make up ground.
Yes.
And he's got to stay within, I don't know if he can stay within punching distance of Lasha, but you figure if he's within 10 kilos or so of the rest of the field, anything can happen.
Here's our hometown boy.
See him highlighted in green on our tower.
Hoja Tochiev, his sister lifted earlier this week. And now here he is in the A session. He is a 2016 Olympian. And last year in Anaheim, he snatched 184 on his third attempt. Here he is opening with 187.
Sister was kind enough to join some of us for coffee this morning, and she thinks he's going to go well into the 190s in the snatch.
He's suffering with some callus tears on that left hand, so hopefully that doesn't affect it.
You know, it looks like it might have, Sean.
Yeah.
This bar has been
He went right to it and he tore it right off. Go ahead, David.
This bar seems to have been pretty sharp all week. We've seen a number of callus tears, and I think that's what happened there. The bar has knurling, aids in the grip, which is very important.
And hand care in weightlifting is a huge deal. I mean, you see these giant, what you referred to, Mart, as a mountain. It's true, these guys are huge. And you would think that something as simple as a callus tear wouldn't get in the way of them lifting these enormous weights, but it actually can.
Oh, yeah. So the hand, I mean, is the extension of the body reaching to the bar. It's the only thing you're going to really have contact with the bar the whole time. It's like tires in a car. The tires aren't in good shape, you're not going to be able to drive well.
You know, more than that, I mean, it's a sensory thing too.
Yeah.
You know, if there's something feels strange in the when you grip the bar, it's going to affect your ability to throw it over your head.
Tochiev coming out for his second attempt, 187. No shortage of support from the crowd here.
So running a 2-minute clock there because Tochiev is following himself. 187 stays on the bar. And I think this is the moment he can relieve the crowd of any anxiety and himself by putting this 187 kilos away.
Well north of 400 pounds.
So what I think happened on that first one is as he pulled the bar off the floor, whatever tape he had on his hand slipped.
Yeah.
And that really can screw up your timing of the lift.
The snatch is a game of millimeter precision. Anything can throw you off.
You know,
I think you're right, Sean.
You saw the doctor work on his hand in the back, put a different type of tape on there, and obviously did a good job.
And in fact, it was thinner.
Yes.
Which you talk about your senses, it doesn't mess with them as much.
Right. He's asking for, I thought I saw 195.
I don't know if that was that his card?
That
it
is.
was
195.
All right, well, these are the supers.
Yeah.
Standard jumps go out the window when you're talking about this with this group.
Yes, everything they do tends to be super.
So now from Belarus, Eduard Zizulin, first attempt 189.
Beautiful lift.
Yeah.
One of two juniors in this group. We've seen both already, and both are on the board.
And that is a junior world record.
I told you they weren't going to last.
Didn't even realize. Just casually opens with a junior world record. And he's got 2 attempts left.
So does Fernando Reis from Brazil. First attempt 193.
Possibly the strongest athlete in the Western Hemisphere.
Well, I don't think there's any question.
Last year snatched 200, which was good for 5th place. And even then, Sean, we were saying, can you believe?
Right, 200's 5th place.
Well, that's 1 kilo more than he opened with in Anaheim.
He looks like he's in shape.
And last year he jumped to 200 on his second.
Now, I spoke with him a few times between the last Worlds and this Worlds, and his training has gone well. He's situated nicely in Miami, and it seems like the fruits of his labor are paying off.
So a good start there for Hayes. And don't be shocked if 200 is where we see
no
him.
doubt.
And now Edward Zizulin of Belarus, second attempt, 193. Worth mentioning, junior world record, if successful.
Oh.
Right there.
Right there is right.
He's got one more chance.
Didn't look heavy.
And is he the only athlete on 93? He is.
Well, 94 would be... he could, if he goes up one, he can get a little rest. But I don't think he needs rest on this. But I think they're going to go up.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. Does look like Tochiev is expecting to come out. But for now, that 2-minute clock is running on the junior from Belarus, Edward
Now, they made a
Zizulin.
declaration yet?
Not that I can tell. Looks like they're going to ask him to do a pull because they're making him wait one more attempt. What is he going to? Is he going to pull this or is he going to power it?
Should we bet?
Power.
Yeah, power it.
140. Most
With
humans
ease.
don't do a bar like that, an empty bar. So taking one last warm-up before he comes out for his 3rd attempt. And you see, that's the kind of thing that happens in a meet. How many attempts was he back there? 4, 5?
Right. Yeah.
And they expected or hoped to be next after Zizulin. But the lifter missed it. 2-minute clock, you get held up. You do another quick lift to stay warm.
Yeah.
And now, the junior from Belarus back on the bar for his 3rd attempt, 193 kilos. This would reclaim the junior world record.
That's right. I bet he wishes he had that back on his second.
Yeah.
He
but
looks
man,
pretty pleased right now, though.
makes it look nice on that 3rd attempt. But his competitor, Ali Davudi, another junior, also has another attempt.
That was nice.
And he has called for 196, so...
All right, so now here's Hoja Tochiev from Turkmenistan, 194 kilos, 3rd attempt, and you can hear it, I'm sure.
Once again, the fans, if they could get out there and lift it for him, they would. Throwing lots of support behind this young athlete.
He's done 197 on this stage. Here he is with 194. No lift for Tochiev at 194. He'll be credited with 187 kilos from his 2nd attempt.
I think he started the 2nd pull a little bit early, got behind it. I wonder if that hand was maybe bothering him again.
If we hadn't mentioned it, Peter Neusch of Hungary snatched 187 in the B group earlier this morning, so that currently is the leader. Well, that was the leader. But Tochiev is behind him in 8th place now. As a result of that miss, 195 kilos is now loaded. Another plate added to the bar. For Rustem Jangabayev, Uzbekistan.
Whoa, man, he gets down there.
Yeah. Very mobile for a super.
Wow. Reminiscent of Taranchenko, to go back into the 80s to find somebody with that kind of body.
Right? Just a few inches off the platform.
Wow.
All right, so now one of two entries from Georgia here in the men's plus 109. Here is the first attempt of Irakli Terminidze. 195 kilos.
His coach telling him to get his elbows up, which is great advice.
His coach is also an Olympic champion.
Terminidze was a bronze medalist himself.
Beautiful lift.
And for all the talk of Lasha that we hear about Georgia, from Georgia, and with good reason, Terminidze is as good as it gets. I mean, in every way. I mean, just technically perfect.
Very nice opening attempt for that snatch. Like you said, JP, technically really spot on. Just happens to be overshadowed by
that man right there.
Perhaps the greatest super of, easily I'd say the greatest super of the past few years.
Yes. Of our generation, but he's making his case at Real Legend.
Well, he's got to get that that all-time clean and jerk record.
Which he sort of has kicked near.
But he hasn't gotten it yet.
Not officially, that's right.
In my mind, unless you get that, you're still not the best.
All right, so now Mart, same third attempt, 195. Pretty conservative jump, 3 kilos. But for same, this will be a best ever.
Not bad for a bad back.
He tried this in Anaheim on his third attempt.
We'll say this, he's got to finish a little bit more. Give him some time to get under this bar. Yeah, it just
didn't have the height.
No,
or the acceleration.
He didn't listen to me. If he listened to me, he would have made it. Well, I think that back is bugging him a little bit.
Yeah, he was tentative that whole way it looked.
Now, oddly enough, you know, in the clean and jerk, it might not bother him as much because he's not as bent over in the start.
Yeah.
So a little bit more upright in the start because your hands are a little bit closer together.
For same, he snatched 191 last year. Here he is. He goes into the clean and jerk with 192, and he ended out.
So he's still in
silver
a good
in the
spot.
clean and jerk. Yeah, Alvagov there. Where did he jump to off of his opener? 98. So it will be just a bit before we see him. Jangabayev being called on the platform, his automatic increase. That will change. I believe it will go to Davuti at 96. What did Jangabayev declare?
199, I believe. Yep, 199, so it does go to Davuti. Avidan.
2 for 2 thus far. He made 192 kilos on his second attempt. This would be his third straight junior world record if he comes out to take it, but he's taking more.
197. Albegov has gone down to 197.
Interesting.
That's interesting. They shouldn't allow that.
Because the bar has been lowered to 197.
Was Davuti introduced at 97? No, that's why.
Okay.
It's close, but he's okay. All right, so now Walid Badani, 197 kilos, second attempt. 7 kilo jump. That might be average, I guess, for this group.
Yeah, 7 is anywhere between 5 or 10
in this group.
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys are weighing in the 160 range kilos, 160, 170 kilos. So 10 kilos is a drop in the bucket.
He snatched 195 kilos at the World Championships last year.
He moves. For a big guy, he is quick.
You know, it looks like the bar, it doesn't, but it looks like the bar kind of slows down into the hip, but it really doesn't. He slingshots himself onto the bar.
Yeah, he really does.
Man.
You can see it here. Boom, just like that.
It's like the calm before the storm, and then it explodes. It's
And
great.
I think you lose all perspective of space and size looking at these guys one after the other, but I think he's one of the taller athletes. Now we're back to Ruslan Albagov. Second attempt, 197 kilos.
Not heavy. Just got behind the bar, it looked like. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's going to cost him.
It might.
I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just kind of how he walks.
Albagov?
Yeah. He's kind of shuffling.
All right, so now Ali Davoudi, Islamic Republic of Iran, third attempt, 197 kilos.
And a new junior world record in the snatch. Another one who just has the optical illusion of kind of slowing down.
It looks like it slows in the hip.
Down into the hole.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
And he's pointing to the board as it lights up with junior world record. Well earned in a terrific series.
Well earned, exactly right. This fantastic. He is going to be a superstar when he starts shaving.
Our youngest competitor in this field, Davoudi, and 3 for 3.
Now being followed by our oldest, if you can believe it.
No, the other Georgian.
Terminitse?
Yeah.
No, born in 84, 88. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
There you go.
Needs to steady and get his feet in a line, and he does. And Albagov makes the correction.
A little shuffle here. Look at that.
There is a little, you almost
Just how he walks.
gingerly walk.
Love the way he gets under the bar.
Yeah, nice classic technique. Gets the knees out of the way of the bar.
Guys this size can walk however they want, however fast, however slow.
It's true.
In whatever form. All right,
Very
so now
true.
Fernando Hayes, second attempt. 198.
Trabalha, Fernando, trabalha puxado, trabalha puxado. Sobe com ela. Vamos puxar. Yes, sir! Vamos!
Yes, good lift by Fernando.
And you know,
Keeps him in it.
that one was almost out of line.
Yes.
But I think because he is in the kind of shape that he's in, he stopped that cold.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe a little bit back.
Yeah, it almost got away, but he was just so secure when he punched out. The little balance shift.
Didn't affect him.
Never in doubt. So a great lift there. He is 2 for 2. And now Rustam Jangabayev looking for 1 kilo more. Here he is with 199 kilos. Second attempt.
Looked like he kind of pushed it away with his hips.
So looped around,
yeah,
you think?
I think so.
It actually moved pretty nicely off the floor, too.
Stay in your comfort zone for even longer and get up to a 10-year guarantee on a smart Vaillant boiler. Find your local installer at vaillant.co.uk.
This is our latest model.
Wow, the year 2000.
The Millennium Bug. Y2K.
Look at this lady buying a mini computer with the store card.
I warned them.
Did she realize she had the PPI? No. Everyone was too busy bugging out.
False alarm.
We can't totally recall every decision we've ever made, so now many PPI providers have online checking tools. Search FCA PPI.
At last, my love has come along, and life is like a song. And here we are in heaven, for you are mine at last.
Create memories with Ernest Jones.
There's a new way to curl hair that doesn't use extreme heat. The Dyson Airwrap Styler uses high-pressure air to create the Coanda effect to attract, wrap, and set curls. Powered by the Dyson Digital Motor V9. Engineered for different hair types. To curl and style hair as it dries. With a choice of styling heads for a choice of styles. Dyson Airwrap.
Your vision empowers you to arrive at your destination. Land your dream. Air China.
Investing. It's a bit of an old boys club. The dress code, strictly pinstripes. And it helps to be well connected. City slickers, traders, and high flyers are all invited. Introducing the Santander Digital Investment Advisor for a new kind of investor. Get started with just £20 for your personalised report.
And with a competition like this, you'll see the coaches gathered around and huddling around the screen with the scoreboard on it, and they are constantly running back and forth. It's near the marshal's table where the changes go in, but not exactly next to it. And occasionally you'll get a little bit of a race, a stampede at times as guys are getting over there to try to get changes in.
Right now, Gor Minasyan of Armenia could be a threat to Lasha.
With a crazy wide start position.
You know, he did that in Rio. I want to say his first and second basically looked like power snatches in that crazy wide position.
The hip hinge or like the angle of it, where he stands is weird.
Yeah, it doesn't, and then he has to go out from there. So it's an odd technique. Real high, close to bars to his head.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a really wide grip, wide stance.
So now we're back to Terminite, 200 kilos, second attempt, 5 kilo increment off his opener.
There is Georgi Asenidze, 2004 Olympic champion, shouting at him.
Good save.
Yeah, and you know, he is the oldest competitor in this field. He's 34 per IWF rules this year, born in '84, and that's someone snatching 200 kilos. Supers can mature a little later because of the growth, but still, in the sport of weightlifting, that's getting up there.
Is that athlete number 7? Minazian, 8-kilo jump, 208. He's in that. Guys, this is nuts.
It's a lot of lifts, 200 and above.
5 lifters left, all of them north of 200 or more.
Man of the hour, Lasha doing a casual 200-kilo snatch on screen there.
So right now, Fernando Hayes is going to be called with 200 kilos.
No,
he's gone up. Where did Fernando go?
201, I think.
Yeah.
201. That's athlete number 6, Jangabayev, moving up. He will not be the lifter. 201 is now the call, and Walid Badani will be. 2 other athletes are also looking for this, but Badani will lift first because he opened the lightest. All 3 are on their 3rd attempt. He opened with 190, then went to 97, whereas Fernando Hayes' example went 93, then 98. So he has waited the longest, which means he is first in the calling order with this weight. So 201 kilos, 3rd attempt, Walid Badani, Algeria.
Never got the bar back, just kind of stayed out in front, never moved back over his base of support. I don't know, didn't look heavy.
I think they misloaded it, actually, because they're putting the change plates on the inside of the collars. Those are supposed to go on the outside of the collar.
So that's something that actually can be a decision of the jury and technical officials. You don't have to leave the change plates on the outside, and I have a feeling a little before when we were in the break, I saw the TC walk around and talk to the loaders, and I think he might have told them to put it on the inside. And the reason being is that this thing is loaded out to the end almost.
Yeah,
and they just don't want it on there.
It especially will be.
So it is an option. All right, so now here's Hayes.
This should be a
201 kilos. Yes, would be.
Performance by
3 for 3 my platform. You see that?
What a fantastic lift. Great athlete. That's great.
So I don't know if that's going to hold for a medal, but that keeps him in the running going into the total, certainly.
Well, last year he did 200, which was good for 5th. Right now it's got him in the lead at 2. Well, right now 201 has him in the lead, yeah, but it could drop him as far as 5th. So now 202, Jangabayev, 3rd attempt, missed 199.
That's right off of a miss.
So here's a gamble. This will set him back to 195 if he misses. 7th place.
Man, we saw it on the first one. Gets low.
I mean, boy, that's gutsy.
There aren't a lot of supers who have that kind of flexibility in the bottom position.
Like I said, I think the last one I saw was Taranyenko.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
With 202 kilos overhead.
203 kilos. Georgia.
Georgian athlete, 1 of 2. Irakli Termanidze is coming out for his 3rd attempt, 203. This would essentially guarantee him a medal in the snatch.
3 athletes remaining, one of them yet to be seen, that being his countrymate, Lasha Tallahatse. Minassian on deck, waiting for a big increase to 208 kilos, but here is Terminidze, 203 kilos, 3rd attempt.
Beautiful lift. Wow, wow is right.
Even his coaches are fired up.
Unbelievable.
That is fast under the bar in slow motion.
Yeah, but the explosiveness up, the straight line that the bar takes, the punch out, the return.
The Georgians just look sharp.
Yes, they do.
Well, he certainly does. All right, so now 205 kilos, Minassian moved down while Terminidze was on the bar. This will move him into the lead and guarantee him a medal in the snatch.
Wow, that was a power snatch.
Almost.
Again, you know, I saw him do the same thing in Rio from the side, and it was astonishing how high he catches. 205 kilos. I mean, that's impressive as a snatch. And Sean, you're right. It's nearly a power snatch.
And it barely clears his head.
Yeah. Look at that. If he grows his hair out, it's on the bar.
Which now is okay.
Yeah, for years it was not. Minassian making a declaration.
So in the doorway, I think we're going to see Lasha for his first attempt. It hasn't been announced yet.
207 is what we're seeing on the board.
Minassian can run this clock just a bit. He's moved to 212.
Wow.
So I think the strategy there for the Armenians is to go big on the declaration and drop down. He could probably go 208, maybe 210.
We'll see what Lasha does, and then he'll make his decision.
Last year in Anaheim, at the World Championships, Lasha opened with 210, ended up at 220.
But he had the world record in mind there.
The snatch world record,
Yeah,
we'll see what he's got in mind for this, but with 207, Lasha will move into the lead. He may still have the world record in mind.
Have you ever seen anyone move weight? And I ask this in all seriousness. Any human being move weight like that? I think back to every weightlifter and that 207.
Nobody does it with that I've seen with that much ease.
Yeah. I mean, Rezazadeh comes close. But I think Lasha is even more impressive.
Particularly in the snatch.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a machine, and he doesn't miss.
We've got just 2 athletes remaining. 3 attempts.
And now at 212 kilos being loaded, we will exceed the new world record standard at the plus 109. Now we know Lasha has done 220. We know that the world record in the now retired plus 105 is 220, but as we mentioned, these have been reset. So the standard was set at 210. Here is Gor Minassian. He actually moved it down to 211. This would be a new world record at plus 109 if successful.
I'm surprised at that.
I didn't think he'd have the room to miss it behind.
So he finishes second in the snatch, and now it's Lasha's show. This was a
What do you do from here?
Well, right.
Close.
I mean, it depends on what he wants to end up with.
Yeah. Well, we hear that Lasha's getting a little ice in the back room. I wonder if that's
anything to be concerned about.
He's coming out for 212. Already first in the snatch. This would just give him the world record. And further his lead.
Just give him the world record. The lift, Ozaniste just marches out.
An easy 212.
Now, can anybody clean and jerk with him in this field?
Not really.
Possibly.
Minazian
but can anybody snatch with him? And the answer is no.
So, I mean, is this do we see 221?
Well, you know, look, right now he's got a 7-kilo lead on Minassian. Wouldn't be crazy.
Well, they at least called for 215.
All right, so we get a little plate change going.
Right, that will color us up to the blue 20-kilo plates in the end. So the clock hasn't started yet because the loaders are working on that right now. You see here on screen, one lift remaining, just that one little gray box next to Tallahatse. This is the final attempt of this session.
So they're making a change.
And you're waiting for the clock to start before they draw something in.
There was about a
217.
217. There was a nearly 30-year stretch where we did not see a human being snatch 215 or more. Happened in 87. 216. Well, and then that was it.
Right. Well, so
until Lasha.
So the significance of this number, it's the second time that somebody will have surpassed the 216 mark, which stood for so long.
Well, the third time if you count him, because he did 216, or Salimi did 16, then he did 220, and now he's doing 17.
So it's only the second time. It's been the 216 has been surpassed.
The 216 has been surpassed.
Yes. I'll add one more that he quietly did at the Europeans in Split. He did 217.
Oh, okay.
See, we're talking about an event that can happen. You could count the
them
number
on
of
our
times
hand. Yeah, exactly.
In the lifespan of most people in this room.
But he's done it so regularly over the past few years that, like, we've grown to expect it.
Yeah.
From Lasha.
And yet it is truly an outlier among outliers. Let's see if he can do it one more time.
So here's Lasha Tallahatse. Third attempt, 217 kilos. World record at plus 109.
I don't even know what to say.
Say nothing, it's fine. I'm right there with you.
It is truly a superhuman performance. It is something that is up there with the best athletic achievements of history. Look at how easy it is, too.
Remarkable.
That is just unbelievable.
And again, after the 80s, I think there were a number of us, ourselves included, who didn't think we'd ever see a 215 or more snatch again. And Lasha, basically, we're getting spoiled every time we see him.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not 221, but I mean, come on. I mean, to see that again in that fashion.
He needs 237 to break the world standard. I mean, theoretically, he can go out there and power clean that and break the world record.
The new world record standard, yeah.
Gormanasyan of Armenia, silver medal in this snatch, has his work cut out for him in the clean and jerk in the total. Lasha's teammate, Irakli Tremanidze, bronze in the snatch on a perfect day.
There's going to be a lot of red on that medal stand.
And there, of course, Lasha Tallahatse.
You know, it's odd. I look up at the scoreboard and I see that 217, and you just assume it's a clean and jerk.
And it's a snatch.
And I look over and there's no clean and jerks. It's just such an odd thing to see. as we mentioned.
And yet we're getting accustomed to it with him.
A handful of times only in the history of the sport.
Yeah, and it is a 12-kilo lead, which means he'd have to be out clean and jerk by 13 kilos for somebody to take him out. Here are our standings in the men's plus 109. And you see that number, and you can shake your head at it because it's ridiculous.
You think he was holding back? You think he looked good for more?
He always looks good for more.
Are we watching the same thing here?
I wonder, why the call for 221 didn't come out, but he's got his own plans, I'm sure, and I trust Asanice, the coach.
Quick note, number 14 there, Almir Veljak of Germany suffered an injury earlier today. He is, as I understand, okay. Suffered an elbow injury in the B session and did not clean and jerk. So a speedy recovery we wish to him. And as we head into our break, or as we're in our break for the men's plus 109, before we go into the clean and jerk, this is going to be the last clean and jerk series or session of the 2018 World Championships. We're sad to say it, but the weights are going to be huge.
If you're enjoying this, check out the IWF social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IWFNet. You can see photographs, you can see replays, you can see information on the athletes, records, all sorts of great stuff for you there. We've got about 6.5 minutes until the clean and jerk phase of the competition, where there will be much more exciting action, and we'll see you for that.
To Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, for the clean and jerk competition of the men's plus 109 Group A. We were just treated to something special from Lasha Tallahatse, a 217-kilo snatch. And David Boffa, Sean Waxman, the question is, will Lasha, who has notoriously been known as a snatch specialist, treat us to something special in terms of either the greatest all-time clean and jerk, or frankly, something he already owns, the greatest all-time total? He is in range to go beyond the 477 that he did.
Easily within range.
Well, I mean, I think that on a second attempt, 263 will give him the mythical 480 total, which, you know, is, maybe that's on his third, but I think the 480 total is the thing that he has in his sights. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody, but that's what I think is going to happen.
So we could be treated to something special in just a bit, but right now we're going to get this started. 220 kilos, Walid Badani, Algeria, first attempt.
Sounds like he did 200 in the back, so big jump on that last warm-up.
Oh. Was that something in between a split and a power jerk?
It was, I don't know what you call it. It's not, we remember him from last year. He had that weird jerk as well. It's kind of similar to what we're seeing today.
Clean looked okay. But no, it was never really over the base of support. And unfortunately, he's got to follow himself.
Not much room for a breather here. He could, in theory, go to 222. That would get him a break if Zizulin's number is real, but you don't know, so you should use the clock here, which he's doing, a 2-minute clock, because he is following himself.
Which is rough. As a super, largest group of competitors, you want all the rest you can get in
with
between
these
attempts.
huge weights, even.
Exactly.
A turnaround in 2 minutes is a tough thing to do, but
I mean,
it
we're
looks
nearing
like
500 pounds.
Walid Badani, who's being asked to do just that, is going to.
Got just under a minute remaining. Started going the same way as the first one.
Yeah.
But he had it secured.
You know, he just doesn't secure the weight overhead. You know, we've seen lifters this week move their feet all around like a dance.
But it was locked out.
The bar's locked out. He just doesn't lock it out over his head. You can't dance around the platform.
So he's okay here. It's right there where it goes. And you know, come on, it's 440 pounds.
I'm not criticizing the guy.
No, I know, but you just see, like, there's no way he can stop it once that starts to happen.
But you can't let it happen. The point is, you can't let it happen in the first place.
Yeah, now to start this off, Walid Badani is in a bad spot. He must make this now on his third attempt, or he will not post a total.
That's too bad.
And if we haven't mentioned it this session, we have in the past. The 2018 World Championships opens the qualification window for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. These athletes in every weight class who want to go to the Olympic Games must compete 6 times over the next 18 months in IWF events. They must compete at least once in 3 separate 6-month blocks. And in this new system, what we have done is moved away from team point scoring, and we have now put the onus on the athlete directly. They are to acquire, or they will acquire through their totals in these 6 events that they compete in, what we call Roby points. And the top Roby points will be ranked in order to bring people or to qualify individuals to the Olympics. So if an athlete does not post a total in a World Championships or in an IWF qualifying event, which this is, they will accumulate no Roby points. So this is a huge deal for Walid Badani to make this lift.
Come on, let's go, Walid. Let's do this. Oh, man.
Doesn't make it through the clean.
I'm sorry to see that.
JP, like you said, that's a big deal.
Doesn't end the Tokyo dream, but it makes the path there pretty difficult.
I think if you're the best in your Continental Federation.
But you still, so he's got the meat on the board, but he needs points. He has 0 Roby points right now. So he will have to get into some other meets.
He's not going to be top 8 in the world. And I don't know where Algeria is, the African Games. So he certainly could be the best in
continental and region.
In that continent.
All right, so now here's Zizulin of Belarus, first attempt junior lifter, 222 kilos. This will be a world record in total and clean and jerk.
Nice clean.
Junior world record.
Junior world record, thank you. And it is.
Beautiful lift. He is very well coached. Excellent lift.
So a good lift, our first of this session. And it's a junior world record.
It's kind of been the theme of this competition. Lots of big weights, and the old world standards, rather, the world standards that have just been established are falling all around us.
And the only reason all the records haven't been taken yet is because Lasha hasn't taken a lift.
Well, I don't, as far as the clean and jerk goes, it will get to Lasha, I think, eventually, but look for Gorham and Asiani. He can do it. There are a couple others in here certainly capable of 251. Terminates. So they're going down, which I think is your point.
Yes. My question is, why are they set so low?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Talking about 263 and a half, right? And the body weight limit went up. Not that that matters with supers.
No, it doesn't matter with supers. One of the benefits of being at a meet as super is never worried about cutting weight.
No upper limit.
So you can always see them with multiple plates of food.
That was a talk that's a conversation that I wondered about. Should there be an upper limit? And ultimately the IWF decided no upper limit on the high end and no lower limit on the lowest body weight
I just
class.
don't know why they changed the super records.
Yep. All right, so now here, Ali Davoudi, our other junior, 227. If successful, say it again, junior world record in both total and the clean and jerk.
He already owns the snatch junior record from earlier today.
There we go.
And now he owns all 3 for the moment.
with a 424 kilo total. He just completely destroyed the 415 that was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Wasn't as crisp as I've seen him lift. Not to
be critical of it.
Be critical. It's just I've seen his bar move faster.
Okay, but he's on the board here. First one done. We'll see where he takes his series. And now
Djibouti 240 declaration.
Oh, the supers, man. Even if he lowers that a bit. All right, so now Zizulin is back. Second attempt.
Looking to retake the junior world record in the clean and jerk.
But it would not do it in total. This would give him, if successful, a 421 kilo total. For now, would move him into second.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
A little flicker on that right arm.
And we've seen them be pretty strict on that flicker all competition.
One red light it drew, so it's a good lift. Let's see if that holds up. Remember, there are 3 referees, and their judgments are basically reviewed by a jury of 5 people. If that jury unanimously agrees the judges got it wrong, they can overturn the lift, and it's the right arm
well
that wobbles just a little bit there.
The jury is not stirring,
so it looks like that lift will hold.
We're okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
Making a declaration. 230 something. 232.
230 something.
230 something.
Doesn't matter. It's all huge. All right, so now here's Albegov, or not, change coming in. He's moving up.
I mean, he's a guy that can clean and jerk in the 250s, so we don't know what kind of shape he's in.
235 being declared for Albegov.
So hopefully he's at least in 235 shape.
Right.
Now Terminitze, 230.
He doesn't really look ready.
Looks like he just woke up. Yeah, I think there's a pretty low chance that he's coming out for this 230.
The clock is run. Oh, there he goes.
Georgi Astanidze.
Oh, no. Is that an X? Oh.
Well,
Did we see his elbow?
No, I don't know. Like, it was the way he was standing up. He just wasn't looking good.
So they're icing his neck.
And his thigh they're icing.
And his, his thigh.
They could be cooling off. Yeah, they could be putting him behind the neck just to cool him off, but.
You can imagine the heat. These athletes, they're like nuclear reactors.
Well, it's noticeably hotter back there than other sessions.
We'll try to find out why Terminitze has departed from this competition, and we are very sorry to see it. Terminitze, correct me if I'm wrong, was the bronze medalist in the snatch.
Yeah.
So it is really unfortunate
for the podium going in.
That he is not going to be taking any clean and jerks. We'll get you information as soon as we know it.
And that helps Brazil's Fernando Reis very much.
Jangabayev as well. All right, so now here's Zizulin, third attempt, 232 kilos.
You know, a little deeper on that dip than we saw in the previous 2. A little bit of a struggle in that clean. You saw him rotate a little bit, but
still very nice showing.
Great showing. And is right now currently a record holder.
In the clean and jerk at 228 from his second attempt.
Don't know if that's gonna hold.
Yes, Djibouti still has 2 more attempts, but like you said, Sean, a very nice showing in his first World Championships. And that's a lifter, I think, to keep an eye on over the next few years.
And we see his name on the board right there, so at least for a little while, he's a world record holder.
I hope somebody's taking a picture of it for him. And now 235 will be loaded for the first attempt of Fernando Reis of Brazil.
What did he open with at Pan Am's?
Ooh, you don't have it.
What's his best clean and jerk?
40.
That's what I thought.
I think he just did 230 in the warm-up room.
That's a small jump to the opener, but
5?
Yeah.
For a super.
Yeah. Good jerk.
Yeah. Nice opening attempt.
Solid opener by Fernando. Nice job by Fernando there.
Briefly want to mention that it sounds like Terminidze pulled a quad, which is what led to him withdrawing from the competition.
That's too bad.
So we do wish him the best, and we do hope to see him back in competition soon. And 235 kilos is going to stay on the bar now for Mart Same, Estonia, first attempt.
And we'll see what his back situation's like right in a few seconds. Problem there.
Good lift for Same.
Yeah, 235 goes up with relative ease.
He's actually walking off the stage better than he did in the snatches, so
maybe that he's been moving around, they got him loosened up. And what he does so well is how he turns his arms around on the clean and just shoots right up out of the bottom position, almost effortless. So now Ruslan Albegov, 235 kilos, first attempt.
He's got a beautiful clean jerk.
Nice and patient in that jerk recovery, and it pays off.
The whip he creates on the bar, the force that he creates, both when he receives it in the clean and when he dips and drives through the jerk. Watch the bar. It's just, it's like that flick. And that movement is unbelievable.
Feet land, same time as the arms lock, bars right over the hips. Perfect.
All right, so now here is Hocha Tochiev. First attempt, 235. Series that he wanted in the snatch competition, 187 from his second, but that is a solid start at 235 for Tochiev.
You're kind of what we expected to see out of him in the clean and jerk.
I think with an opener like that, see him into the 240s.
Absolutely.
Which with Terminidze out.
Game on.
Yeah, could be good enough for a podium finish. We'll have to see. There is Lasha Olympic champion, world champion, 2017.
Now, this is the first time we are seeing Jangabayev from Uzbekistan.
Fourth after the snatch, with finishing with 202. Should give him a 438 total.
Yes.
And put him currently in the lead.
2 kilos ahead of Hayes, sitting on 436 right now.
Again with that slow into the hip. Nice lift. It's almost like he's winding a spring, and it's getting to the hip, and then the spring just springs, and he just gets under the bar. It's really
there.
Yeah.
It does. It really looks like it almost grinds to a stop.
Yeah. And then it just really speeds up.
And his body speeds up too. I mean, he, like
oh,
you
yes.
said, everything coils up, and then he just unleashes. There is Minasyan, Romania. And then Jangabayev getting a declaration of 245. 9 kilo increase.
240.
Looks like Minasyan will be coming out for this. He's silver in the snatch.
But he only had, and that's the thing that helps so much for everybody else, he only had a 2 kilo lead over Terminidze, who's out. So you have to look to 4. But even Jangabayev, he only had a 3 kilo lead over him. And, you know, these guys eat 3 kilo meals.
Yeah.
So
I would say snacks, Junior. Meals are much more than that. That's unexpected.
Very strong.
Unexpectedly, I thought he would stand right up.
He looked like a world beater when he was out for the snatch, right? Sharp, and he was moving fast. That looked like he was a little tired, right?
Yeah.
But it's 240. It's an opener. Let's see if he turns it on.
And it crashed on him, too.
And watch the back foot. That's something that he always does.
Yeah, not what you call a perfect technical jerk stance, but
It's not technical. You wouldn't teach that to somebody.
no. But if they could do 240 with it, yeah, I
You might let it slide.
Thought.
Yeah.
He'll just smile and nod. And
245 declared for Minasyan.
all right, so now here's Tochiev.
Beat me up, beat me up.
At 240, this would be the best for him. He's tried it once before.
Certainly
He's
got
done
the support
239.
of the crowd behind him.
Oh, yeah.
But how many cows do they have to kill to make that belt?
This would give him a 427, and for now, move him up to 6th.
And be prepared. If he makes this, the roof might blow off. Better than his first.
That's a personal best.
That's fantastic.
And he's got one more attempt. He's rightfully excited about that. And Sean, I think you're right. That's better than his opener.
Much better. Great lift. That's good. Love seeing that.
All right, so for the moment, Tochiev will be on his automatic increase.
They just declared 245. You can see on the card.
Okay, so then 242 kilos. That jump was real.
They have to take that bar off the platform.
Yeah, they're supposed to. And now because they haven't, they got to sweep again. But Davuti, it was real. In fact, it was less.
242, yeah.
242.
He originally wrote
227.
227 to 240, and then he said, that's not a big enough jump. Let's got to be one of the largest
15-kilo jump.
You know, it's uncommon, but I've seen it before, but it certainly is not common.
It's the biggest we've seen today.
Oh, yes, for sure.
All competition, we can even say.
Oh, yes.
Quite easily.
Forget the junior world records. He wants in on the medals. This will give him a 4:39, and for the moment, move him into second.
I think he was going out. He had a little wobble.
You can see the shake there.
Even with that, he looked like he's good for it.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, if at 242, it's a 15-kilo jump, but it looked like a normal jump from an opener to a second, right?
I mean, if he wasn't passing out, I think he would have made that.
Well, he'll have one more chance to do so, unless he wants to go up and try more. But otherwise, he's on the clock right now for 2 minutes.
So after taking a huge, really break, not intentionally, but after having a long time from his opener to his second attempt, he's being asked to come back out with 242 kilos on his third attempt.
Boy, this is a tough ask.
On a short clock, on a 2-minute clock.
I mean, and it's the risk.
And he's going to go up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the right idea.
You got to gamble. They're taking a gamble on this. But they like the odds better with a weight and some rest with a heavier weight than they do with having to make that kind of an effort 2 minutes apart.
Smart call.
So now 244 kilos will be loaded for Rustam Jangabayev. And this will give him a 446 kilo total and move him one ahead of Gor Minassian.
Started to look heavy on his chest.
Yes.
He was looked like he was struggling to get some air, get his breath back. Clean seemed to crash on him just a little bit too.
And 244 is a weird number now because that puts him on a 2-minute clock. What do you do? He doesn't need 245 to move into the lead.
But he might need it so he doesn't have a heart attack.
Yeah, I go up here. What's 1 kilo at 240 plus?
245, you got
a snack.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at 245. You're certainly going to get some kind of rest.
Well, that begs the question, is it too much?
Well,
maybe not.
I mean, it's certainly going to be too much if he has to go out there right now.
Okay.
It looks like Lasha's walking out, even though
he has not been announced.
Now he's announced.
Jangabayev.
They got a change.
There's the change. So 245. So 245 is going to be Lasha Telehatse's opening attempt here, and if successful, this will give him a 462. And even if he makes nothing else.
Right. I mean, and he shatters the current world standard total of 453.
That, and you got to think that this will lock up a gold medal in total.
And then I think he's going to go with my plan.
So a casual 245.
As casual as 245.
I think the number today is 263. 263.
We shall hope.
The 480 total that is the mythical total of weightlifting.
So now 245. I mean, just take a look at this.
Nothing moves.
That's right.
Nothing moves. It's like a statue.
245, Fernando Hayes.
And this is his best.
240 that he just made. Matched it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is a 10-kilo jump.
Yes.
This would be his best.
Best.
Who's up?
Wow, good clean.
Oh, they turned him down a bit early on that.
Yeah, well,
he was really there to fight.
Lockout. I don't know that his arms were fully extended.
But they weren't moving.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have given him the down signal.
So what happened there, we heard the buzz while Fernando, who, by the way, really put into this 245. But it was a little in front, and he's fighting it. And you see the arms moving around
But they're not straightening or bending. That's a bad call. Now, whether or not he would have recovered is neither here nor there. You shouldn't have given him the buzzer for that.
Once two refs chime in, though, the buzzer is automatic.
I don't care. It's wrong.
So now 245, Gorman Asian. 5-kilo jump. This will move him up to 450 and go a long way in helping his efforts to stay in at least silver position.
Just an awkward clean, but
yeah,
boy,
you know,
boy.
It works.
Again, technically, you wouldn't point to that and say do that, but man, does he make it work.
If it's going to happen, you're not going to stop it either. And I think 241 is the most he's done prior to now. Now 245 for Hoxha Toychiev of Turkmenistan. 2 for 2 thus far. And if successful here, he will have a 432-kilo total.
He's got the support of the people behind him. Let's go. Come on. A little much.
Gave it a great effort.
I'm going to get you.
That's right, exactly.
That's what he's doing. I'm going to get you. So that means Toychiev will be credited with 240. From his second attempt, a 427-kilo total on the day, and now Davoudi is back with 245 now on his third attempt.
I think if he comes up, if he stands right up with this and doesn't get the birds spinning around his head, he's going to have a very good shot at making this jerk.
This would give him a 442. So too much today for Davoudi, but remember this name.
And he still has one more year as a junior. He is just 19 by IWF standards,
So too much today for Davoudi, but remember this name.
And he still has one more year as a junior. He is just 19 by IWF standards, he's got a full another year to keep at those junior records.
And from a nation with a history of producing great supers.
Yeah.
He can be fun to see him develop, or it can be fun to see him develop, but he will finish with a 424-kilo total, a new junior world record, along with a 197 junior world record snatch. And now here is Rustem Jangabayev, 245. Missed 44 on his second attempt, moved up 1 kilo.
Better clean. Much better.
And gets the jerk.
Yeah, Jangabayev is the real deal, and he now puts Paish in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Crashes on him again, but
he doesn't care.
No.
That was great.
So, yeah, Fernando is in a tough spot.
He's gone up 1 kilo to 246, and it looks like he's going to take it, but at 246.
There is Lasha, all but secured.
At 246, Fernando
ties Jangabayev.
Yeah, it'll give him 447, and it'll keep him right in the 4th place position that he's in. But still, he will leave here with a big personal best.
Yes, and it might hold on for a clean and jerk medal.
Mart Same and Zizulin have both taken outrageous jumps.
That's too bad for Heiss. He had a perfect day in the snatch. Did wonderfully. Outclassed in the clean and jerk despite doing really big weights and taking some impressive attempts.
It's too bad. Just not there today.
Right there, but not there. Unfortunately for Fernando, so he will be credited with 235 kilos from his first attempt and finish with a 436 kilo total.
And safe to say that you are looking at the strongest athlete in the Western Hemisphere. Biggest snatch done by an athlete in the Western Hemisphere.
All right, so now 250. Gormanasyan, Armenia. We still have a bunch to go, and we're already at 250. This would give him a 455. No.
Not to be.
I mean, he beats himself up on those clean and jerks.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to tap out. And he found his tapping point.
Yeah.
So will 450 hold up? There are a couple of big jumps remaining on this board to try to get ahead. I think we can go ahead and say it's over. Lasha's going to win this thing.
Yeah.
He's sitting on 462 with 2 attempts left. But Gormanasyan at 450 has a pretty hard line in the sand to get across himself. Right now,
there's a technical stop.
Not sure why.
Mart Same waiting to come out. Same, by the way, is a man who has squatted 400 kilos. And there is the jury. It's unclear what the stop is.
He stood up, the bar crossed his knees. They should decline the lift. They haven't turned it down yet. They were letting the clock run.
It's, yeah, they're just waiting
it already
to declare
should be a no lift.
Yeah.
And the jury is asking the referees to buzz in, and they're absolutely
There
correct.
we go.
So no lift, and now the competition can continue. Mart Same, 251. That is
16 kilo increase over his first attempt. And Georgian coach Asenidze, 2004 Olympic champion in the 85s, scrutinizing that board as though it matters.
I know, right?
443 would
There's
put him
not
in.
a whole lot to figure out here.
No. This lift would put him into 4th place.
443,
yes.
Right? Yeah, that'll move him into 4th.
With 1 attempt left.
Right, so he's got to make this plus a bit more.
But it would guarantee him
a medal in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, I think that's what he's got his sights set on.
Well, last year in Anaheim at the World Championships, I believe he was silver in the clean and jerk.
I think he paused jerk 245 recently from the rack. So there's no shortage of strength and power in this man.
Oh, that's shocking.
Pointing to the head.
So his back's okay.
Right. Got to maybe rub some ice on his head.
It's going to be a lot of ice if that's the case.
Knowing him, I wouldn't be shocked if he took a crack.
Well, he's going to be on the clock.
Yeah, he's got a 2-minute clock unless he wants to move up a little bit. Albegov, well, no. Tallahatse asking for 252. Albegov 253, but I've gotten word that Albegov seems to have a bit of a cramp in the hamstring, I think. They're icing it, the left hamstring.
Well, that's a scary thought off of an opener with 235, and he's sitting on 253. If he's having trouble with the leg, that's...
So Mart is out. He's coming out for this.
And it's, in this case, a guy like him with his kind of strength, and that's okay on a 2-minute turn. And in fact, he probably wants to get back out here quickly because he's just annoyed about what he just did, and he wants to make good on it.
You can't break focus for an instant in either of these lifts. They're so mentally demanding.
Shaking. Yeah, a little out of sorts.
Yeah.
So that means Martsain will be credited with 235 from his opening attempt, 427 kilos.
252 on the board. Lasha, Tallahatse, Georgia.
So he originally had put 255. Was I
Lasha
crazy or no?
Albegov?
Yeah, no, Lasha.
He might have moved that down. So what 252 would do is give him a 469.
And with ease, gets that second attempt at 252.
What does he do next?
Gives him the world record in the clean and jerk.
It's got to be 263.
Or do you call it a day? Because
and Ruslan has pulled out.
So Albegov is out. That means we are down to our final attempt of the 2018 IWF World Championships. And hopefully 257 is what we're seeing now. And this is it for all of the tremendous performance we've seen all week. Sean, you've said it before, there's something special about being the person who lifted the most weight, or who lifts the most weight at a World Championships.
And who lifts last.
And who lifts last.
Closing out the competition.
And we are down to our final attempt in not only the men's plus 109, but of the 2018 World Championships, and it belongs to this man, Lasha Tallahatse. The question is, will he take it? And then what weight will it be?
So he now owns all 3 records. Snatch, clean and jerk in total. He's got plenty of time. Still just over 1:40 on the clock. Asenidze perhaps asking him what he wants to do.
He did this 257 last year in Anaheim.
Looks like they're staying with this.
To cap off a 477 kilo, which at the time was world record, what, best ever, still is. Best ever total by a super heavyweight. And as we near 1 minute, we're not quite sure what he'll come out with.
He's coming out. I see Asenidze in the tunnel.
The man from Georgia, 257 kilos in the clean and jerk for world record.
He's going to stick with 257. So this will close out this year's World Championships. A world record 257 kilo attempt for Lasha Tallahatse of Georgia. He will have a 474 kilo total. If successful, that too will be a new world record.
Simply amazing.
It really is. The knee wrap was unraveling, and he throws 257 overhead like it's a final warm-up. We've seen a lot of supers, very strong supers in this session, but I would argue none of them moves weight the way Lasha does.
Yeah, it's just remarkable. Just remarkable.
So now, with that being done,
we're done.
That's true, but Lasha marches one step closer to legendary status. This is now his third straight World Championships. He's won an Olympics in between.